Hello again, everybody. Harry Boxer, the Technical Trader, January 29th, Tuesday night. These are the charts for the day. Quite a few interesting stocks to look at, and I promise you tomorrow we'll be getting to the short side. I don't think we're quite ready yet, but the market is showing signs of cracking. In any case, there's still enough stocks that are trending and looking good. Here's a jury on pharmaceuticals we haven't talked about in a few days. And the reason why we haven't talked about it, as you can see, it's been trending sideways for a week. However, in the confines of the rising wedge here, that's a bullish pattern. In the confines of the rising channel, it says if we accelerate out of here, we can see this in the 33 range in the not too distant future. So I'm looking for a 5-point potential swing on it. AEZS had a significant price volume surge today. If you step back and look at the overall pattern, you see this is a stock that was trading in the low teens, came all the way down under $2. But recently, after forming a little mini head and shoulders, broke out, went sideways, consolidated, and exploded on volume today, trading 5 million shares up 17.5% or 48 cents to close at 323. About 22 cents off the high, not the best close, but still breaking through the rising channel, maybe accelerating here. And look for a test. For me, I think we should get up to 4.5 short term. We'll take a look at that going forward. CRE, I'm really liking the way the overall chart looks after the big downtrend, and that line was broken. It ran up to resistance, rolled over to form a bigger base, bounced, and then formed a larger coil pattern that eventually broke out here with the big breakaway gap to the upside. This triggered this entire move. We did get a pullback early January, but it stalled and then turned right around and gapped through a breakaway to the upside on big volume a week ago, and since then has been a rising flag. This is a powerful pattern that should yield higher levels, but we may get a pullback, and that's what I'll be looking for potentially to see if we can get a entry up, particularly on a low volume pullback. But right now my target is 46.5. DGI, after we issued a swing trade on the breakout, it pulled back for a couple of days, giving you a better entry point. Today it did snap back 58 cents, just a couple percent, but we're going to have to see whether we can hold, first of all, hold support in the 27 and a quarter half area. And if we can get back above the high in the 30.5 range, this could very well run towards the top of the channel, getting it up towards 34. DHI, home builders are strong. Today was a good day for DHI in particular. I think that earnings stock spiked up 251 or almost 12% on 22.3 million shares, by far the biggest volume since May. And if you see the rising channel here and the upper resistance level, this is a stock that has resistance around 28, 29, and that would be my swing trade target. Another junior oil or oil stock that did great today was Delek US Holdings, oil and gas refining and marketing. After breaking out earlier in the year, it then plateaued for a few months right in here. But then broke out recently with a spike up on heavy volume, rising flag, and today popped 8.65% or 274 to close at 34.41. 1 cent off the high for the day on a million shares. Good volume for that stock. At this point, since we are close to the top of the channel, it's going to be interesting to see whether we can accelerate and run up towards the high 30s, my next trading zone. Monster move for KERX the last 2 days. They had big news yesterday on the drug approval. Breakaway gap, big run up. Today it gapped up to resistance and closed at the upper end of the range. The biggest move in this stock in quite a while. But look at this major resistance going back 9 years. Now, since that's broken, it wouldn't shock me if it ran up to at least short term into the 10.5, 11 zone. And that's my trading target going forward for KERX. MED, Medifast. Well, actually, that is broken down today. I'm going to talk about that tomorrow, but I did want to show you real quickly how this head and shoulders may be developing and the rising wedge was broken today. But let's move on to the rest of the longs. Mindspeed, good day for Cabby today. Is this stock? Beautiful rising channel. You can see how we reached the top, pulled back on a falling wedge. That wedge was broken today with a pop and a breakaway gap. 62 cents or 14%, 2.1 million, by far the best volume in a long time. Looking for a test at the top of the channel around the 5.25 area, but we could very well see 5.5 or 5.75 before it does give you a bitter pullback. Novotel, if you take a look at the pattern, this little mini base breakout of falling wedge, which held a breakout point, resulted in a 2-day snapback. Today up 6.3% on 3 million shares. Volume's increasing as the stock moves up. And this could very well test short-term 2 1/4 and then 2 3/4. SGI, one of our swing trades, is acting well. When it broke out here, we issued the swing. It moved up nicely to reach my target or near my target around 13.5, 14. If we do get a little higher, we could see the stock reach up and fill this gap entirely up around 14 1/4. That would complete my swing trade. SVU swing trade broke out of its pennant yesterday, followed through nicely today with a gain of 23 cents to close at 391, just 2 cents off the high, up 6% on 19 million shares. This looks like it's headed for 420.25, very short term, but maybe as high as 5.5 or 6 on a secondary basis. SWIR big day today as well. You can see how the stock popped last Friday and Monday, and then today exploded with a big breakaway gap on news that they've sold a subsidiary for a lot of cash and short up their financials, taking it out across key resistance. My next target, 12. Tesoro, again, another refiners did great today. This broke out, jumped 222 or 5%. Nearly 6 million traded, the biggest volume on an update going way back in August. And this stock looks like it's headed even higher, perhaps up around 50, 51 short term. WNR, another refiner. The oils were fabulous today, especially the refining stocks. Broke out today with a breakaway gap and jumped 186 or 6%, 2 3/4 million or plus traded. The projection on this says that with this rising channel in force, we could get a stock to move up towards 37, 38 short term. And lastly, yet another refiner or oil company, YPF, I believe this is South American stock. You can see that the base formed, the pop, the flag platform here for about 6 weeks. And today jumping $1.72 or 11%, 2.7 million, best volume in about 3-4 weeks, broke it out. Next target will be up around the mid-20s, so watch this for a possible swing trade on YPF. That's it for tonight, everybody. Talk to you tomorrow.